Yep.
You want to start the recording and I will
Yep.
get a
Just
piece
did.
of paper. All right, it is 6:35. Calling the meeting to order. Can you just say who's present? Kathy Schofield present.
Janice Muldoon Moore is present.
Dan Byer present.
Bonnie Beal present.
All right, that's a quorum, right?
Yep.
All right. All right, so first item on the agenda, which I do not have in front of me, is, I believe, appointing a representative to the CPA.
Yeah.
CPC.
So previously it was Lynn, but now we need to appoint someone else to represent this commission on the CPA, and ideally someone who can attend the meeting at 7 o'clock tonight.
All right, so I have volunteered to take over for an interim, unless anyone else is interested.
I'm already on it
I
for
thought-
Parks.
Okay, is that a no? No one else?
No, that I think that's fine. You mean for a short period of time? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So I'm hoping that some new members for the commission will be making their way in, and at that point I'd like to fade out and tend to other things. So technically, unless you've submitted a letter of resignation, we are considered still part of the board or the commission. So does anyone want to make a motion?
I think it'd be wonderful.
I'll second.
All right, so Janice. All those in favor?
Aye.
That
Dan.
Janice?
Aye.
That's yeah.
Connie?
Yes, aye.
And Kathy. Aye. All right. So something that we didn't get a lot of prior notification on is the Ice House on Kinsley Lane in Mendon, which is owned by the Wagner Family Trust. So, Dan, I don't know, were you at the Lake Nipmuc Association meeting?
Yes, I was wondering how this came across your desk. It came up in the meeting.
All right, so I get a call from a select board member about what, how things should be handled. And I just said, well, why don't you let us reach out and speak to the family? And then, because they were questioning the historical significance and weren't really sure.
The discussion at the meeting was more, there was some concern that it appeared to be an abandoned, dilapidated building that potentially could be contributing towards, a hazard. And I think Joyce mentioned she talked to somebody before and it sounded like there was no interest in anything and some question as to how historic it really was, and that's about it.
So, my understanding years ago when we spoke to some of the people that owned the building or that were involved is that they wanted to rehabilitate it. It's kind of in tough shape. It is probably not the original Ice House, but some of you could definitely see if you go inside that there are parts of the Ice House that make up that barn. So I think eventually they'd like to, either restore it or rehabilitate it or use it, as part of a newer structure.
Does it, I mean, it's interesting. It has almost nothing on the, I believe we're talking about 7 Kinsley Lane.
Yeah,
Does it have it has frontage on the lake, right?
it does. Yeah.
I'm just because I think the main issue always is, what are you going to do with it? Would it have use if they, could turn it into a boathouse and people could rent it out for storage or something?
Yeah, but my understanding back then and is as I believe it stands now is that they would like to keep it in the family. They do have a memorial there for Wayne Wagner.
Oh, cool.
On the property. So, there are a couple of things. Nobody should be trespassing on it. Maybe we need to discuss how to secure it, so that nobody gets hurt. And then,
Oops.
What their plans are moving forward. And they're happy to meet with us. They're all kind of busy and doing vacation. So Sally said, when they're all back in town, they'll get together with the commission.
I don't, I mean,
Do they want
sorry,
do they
go
want
ahead.
to tear it down? I'm sorry. Do they want to tear it down?
I don't think they want to tear it down as much as they want to maybe repurpose it. I mean, I think where it stands right now, and it's particularly because it's been such a wet season, that land in front of it is generally wet. It usually dries out, but I don't think it's dried out at all. So I believe it has a concrete padding for a floor. Right now they do store boats, and you can tell it's a family hangout. So there's tables and chairs and places to relax. And
I mean, if it's, I think that, the conversation at that last meeting may have gotten a little off the rails too. Like, the bottom line is it's private property. It's really nobody's business unless it's an active public safety or public health hazard, which I don't necessarily think it is. It's just a little unsightly.
yeah.
They might, if they haven't done so, they may want to post it no trespassing if that's an issue.
Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion, Dan.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that they had gone down at the concern of somebody else that they should clean it up, and they have been down to clean it up earlier. You can definitely see it's overgrown. So it's, I don't think
is there any utilities on site, water? Like, it doesn't have a septic, a bathroom. It's literally just a shed, right? Or a barn.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I think from the lake's perspective, that's, would really be the only concern. I would love to see it. Now that I'm thinking about it more, there's some interesting potential with this property, depending on what they might or might not be interested in doing. One of the things people always complain about is the lack of any sort of boat ramp on the lake. Maybe there's an opportunity to have some sort of a boat launch, boathouse facility that could generate revenue for someone.
Sure.
I don't know, either a lease to the town or a private enterprise. I don't know. It might have a potential for new life instead of just seeing it wither away.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And what's interesting is if you go inside and you go up the stairs into the loft area, the markings as to how they used to, cut the ice are still on many of the boards, that were used in that building. So you can see, measurements. And of course, to me, it's, well, I believe to the town, it certainly has historical significance.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could there potentially could be access to CPA funds if they were willing to put a restriction on it, and even if it was to be turned into some sort of museum exhibit.
Right. So why don't we start looking into that? I mean, why don't we invite them in and we can all start exploring, what might be out there and available for them, if they do put a preservation restriction on it. And even if it does, if it's an agreement for an easement for boat access, that might be quite nice.
Yeah, it's, it'd be nice to have an opportunity to work with a property owner now instead of coming to us for demolition delay so we can build a McMansion.
Right,
So I think
exactly.
this is a good
Right.
opportunity to
Right.
check in with them and if there's anything we can do to help.
All right, so why don't we, when they get back, when Sally gets back, we can schedule a meeting with them and we can sit down and talk about what some of the possibilities are. In the meantime, we'll have to put our thinking caps on and do some research and, see what may or may not be available. And go from there. Is everybody in agreement with that?
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Any other items that anyone wants to talk about?
With the record room, and maybe I didn't reply to an email. I don't know if you had heard any more, if we're still waiting to chat with Dave when he comes back. Sounds like
Things have gone radio silent on the records room. I've heard nothing. I've reached out. I mean, I'm really not sure where we're at.
unfortunately, the problem I think we run into is if we probably could put together a bid package, but I don't know if we're equipped to answer any questions, like when contractors have questions,
Right. But
any of the technical side of it.
I bet Armando could answer the questions. Dan, did I send you over that packet? His breakdown
so.
of the work.
Yeah, so we could work from that. It's a ton of work.
Oh yeah, it is. Of course it is.
If we can just copy paste all that into the boilerplate, if he's can at least commit to answering questions, that might be helpful.
Right. I just feel like, they want something done, but there just hasn't been enough guidance. And Dave, I'm sure is, got his hands full
Oh yeah, he's
at this stage of the game.
well. Plus, he's in Ireland still, so I don't know. And I don't know if there's someone else we could hire to put that together, or they seem to think it's a viable project. The alternative, would they allow us to withdraw it and resubmit for next year?
It's a possibility. Do you want me to call Armando and ask him, what his thoughts are?
I mean, I don't know, like, we don't, his situation is open-ended, because we're going to need somebody to look at all the bids and make a recommendation. We're going to need a project manager, and I can assure you from watching this town hall thing, we do not want to be that project manager whatsoever.
Oh, absolutely not.
This is the type of job that they are going to run into all sorts of wacky stuff, and we're not going to be equipped to deal with it.
Right, exactly.
Other than making advisory decisions, which is really all we should be doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll put another email out to Ross Stiegel and see if I can get a response out of him. See if he can kind of give us some guidance as to, what we can do for next steps. I didn't even bother with this sign because, I really don't know what to do. So.
Well, I thought that guy said we had to spend the money this year.
Yeah, I think they will give you an extension if there are extenuating circumstances. So,
Right,
but
well,
I'll check in.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to say that. I thought I heard him say it like 4 times or something,
Okay, all right. Well, Janice, you were probably listening better than I was.
I might have been standing next to him.
Oh, okay, got it.
No, I don't know. I just picked up on that. I thought, okay.
Okay, all right. I will put a call in, Dan. We can talk off, about a bid package and see what they can advise us on.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't have any time. I don't get
No, I
paid
know
for
you don't.
historic. You know, I do have the boilerplate packet that council reviewed that we used for the beach, so all you'd have to do is swap out the scope of work and the dates and all that. It's not super complicated.
Right.
You
Do
know,
you
and then we
want to
get it.
send that? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You can
I'll
send that to me. That would be great.
I mean, that at least has been reviewed. So assuming we can just take everything he gave us and, you know, basically we're saying we want bids to do this.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Excellent. I mean, I'd even take a ride down to Wareham and, work with Armando, on an afternoon just to see if we could just make some progress.
yeah, I mean, I forget the timelines and everything, but you figure a minimum of a month from the time we finalize the document to advertise it and wait out all the deadlines. Then you got to award a contract. I would assume we wouldn't be breaking ground until next spring at the earliest.
Right. Yeah. I don't think we will either.
Um, although maybe some of this work can be done over the winter. I don't know.
All right.
Not the foundation work, but
Oh. All right. Well, okay. So, Lynn asked me to see if we could take her off as the contact person for the historical commission.
where is she listed? On the website, probably still.
She might be on the website. Yeah.
That I can do. If they have her name on some state thing, she'll have to just unsubscribe. No, maybe
Okay.
no. Maybe I think I might supposed to be able to email that woman Jennifer. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Jen Doherty. Yeah. Okay.
I could do that.
All right. And I know there's another meeting starting in about 5 minutes. So, did anyone else have anything else they wanted to bring up?
I didn't, unless we want to just quickly think about a meeting date or just wait and see if something comes up and play it by ear.
Yeah, you know what? Let's see. Let's anticipate that we'll be out about 3 weeks, and when we can meet with the Wagners, and we'll set up a date. So, end of September, early October.
That's fine. Mike Goddard's not still on this board, right?
I don't believe so.
He's on here too. He should be.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have let him leave. All right.
Mhm. All right. Okay. So, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I motion to adjourn.
Adjourn. Kathy, second.
Adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right. We'll talk soon.